What's up, everybody? Welcome to BioS3 Raw TV. So I did this post on Instagram, and I know some of you guys don't have Instagram or follow my Instagram, but I like to talk about these things in these videos because sometimes some shit happens on there and you're like, what the fuck? Like, this needs to be talked about beyond here and get the word out, whatever. So I put up a post of myself from 2008 where I did the 2008 Maryland States East Coast Championships, and everything I got that year was fake. Every thing of gear I got was fake. And it wasn't necessarily black market, it was fake pharmaceutical grade, which was fucking really popping off at that time. So it was like, you know, there was a point where Steroids and stuff like that was real back in the day, and all of a sudden the Steroids stuff was fake. Sheen was another, Sharing. Sharing was another, was it Sheen or Sharing? I think it was Sheen and Sharing. There was two different, but they started counterfeiting those. So it wasn't just counterfeit like as far as underground shit. They were counterfeiting pharmaceuticals, and that's what happened in 2008. So I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Like, this shit is not working. It's not doing anything. So I'll just roll into this show fucking, and it's going to be what it's going to be. Let's see what the fuck happens. So I wound up being on stage at about 189 pounds, 187, somewhere around there. Soft as a fucking bag of fucking mashed potatoes. I had lost muscle. I fucking had a hard time losing fat. I was like, you know what? I committed to this show. I don't fucking care. I'm going through with it anyways. I think a lot of people compete because they want to win. They want the trophy. They want other people to fucking worship them. Many times I got on stage because I was trying to discipline myself and force myself to see through things that I didn't want to see through, which as a kid, I would just quit things. I'd be like, I'm done. I don't want to do it. I would force myself, even if it would put me in a position where I'd be made fun of, and I knew I'd be made fun of because I looked like shit. I would force myself in that situation to grow. And when people say, well, what do you mean by grow, Jerry? It makes you a better person by being able to humble yourself and saying, I fucked up. I looked like shit. I know I deserve all of the bullshit I'm getting, but I didn't fucking quit. Like, I knew this was coming, and I still didn't quit. So it's kind of a mental exercise. It always has been for me. Competing, it was many things. It was, you know, mental exercise as far as getting myself to believe in myself, mental exercise as far as not quitting. I used it as far as being in depression. Like when my father died, I jumped right into a contest prep. Me and my ex Angelica broke up. I jumped into a contest prep. Me and my ex Carrie broke up. I jumped into a contest prep. Like it's really served me a purpose throughout my life. So I put up this thing about that time, and then what I did was I wound up getting some pharmaceutical grade gear like right after the show. And in the 4 weeks after the show, I went from like 189 to 240 pounds. And I was harder. Well, I was not harder, but I was bloated. I didn't really put on fat. It was bloat in the muscle that I was regaining that I already lost being off the drugs and dieting. And I put the picture up. It was a Flashback Friday. And I tried to explain to people, it's like, here's the deal. When you come off steroids, you cannot keep the fucking gains. Listen to me, guys. There's going to be people out there right now that says, oh, Jerry's full of shit. Those motherfuckers never come off for more than 4 to 5 weeks at a time. If they do, they're on fucking HCG, IGF, insulin, peptides, fucking SARMs, pro-hormones. They're on all kinds of shit trying to keep their gains, but they never stay off long enough for the body to reverse. So if you build up 12 weeks worth of fucking muscle, it doesn't disappear in 4 weeks or 6 weeks. By that 12-week mark, that's when you're starting to see the changes. And I know because I've run through this over and over and over again throughout my fucking career of bodybuilding to where I wanted to get off everything. And I was like, oh, I'm maintaining. I was one of those people. I don't have to take shit anymore. I fucking maintain. I must have trained so hard for so long that my body's maintaining the muscle. It's keeping it. I have a new set point. All these bullshit theories. That 12-week mark comes around and your body compositions are fucking changing. I mean, it's drastic. Your weight on the scale may not change, but the muscle comes down, the fat goes up, and there's nothing you can do about it. And the longer you stay off, that muscle mass keeps coming down, 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 until now I'm fucking 43. I weigh 205. I was 203 at 19 years old natural. I'm the same fucking weight I am now that I was when I was natural, as big as I got natural when I was 19. There is no way to maintain that fucking mass. You can't. That stimulation, that androgen is out of your body. So I try to tell people, like, if you stop working out, right, can you keep the gains? Like, well, no. Why? Because the stimulation is not there. The fucking steroids are the same thing. You cannot do it. And the guys that fucking tell you can are lying. They either stay on more than a TRT dose for fucking the whole time, or they only go on for 4. One guy actually popped on and said, well, Jerry, if I go on for 8 weeks and then if I go on for like whatever, and then I come off for 8 weeks and do PCT for 8 weeks, and then I'm off for 4 weeks, isn't that off? I'm like, no, motherfucker. After your PCT, which doesn't help your body recover. So many people fucking think as long as you take PCT, it kicks your body back on. It kicks your body back on while you're taking it. When you stop giving your brain the signal by shooting HCG and stuff like that, there's no more signal. Your fucking testicles now have to work. And it takes time for those things to kick back in. The problem is most people do the HCG and then fucking 4 weeks later jump back on a cycle. Or sometimes do the HCG the whole time like Rich Piana used to do. He did HCG the whole time he was off. If he was off for 12 weeks, he did fucking 5,000 IUs of HCG a day. A day. That is fucking insane. No, he didn't lose much size. Why? Because he was blasting HCG, stayed on the growth hormone, and used insulin. Of course he's not going to drop that much muscle. So people really fucking, and not that Rich was lying. He was telling you what he was doing. But Rich also never went off everything. Like, didn't touch a single fucking drug other than 1 cc of test for fucking a year. Had he done that, his body would have literally just fucking shrunk up. That's just how it is. None of these guys, like you look at guys like Jay Cutler. Jay Cutler's 260 and people are like, well, see, Jay's still big. Jay Cutler used to be over fucking 300 pounds in the same condition he's in now. 300. He's lost about 50 to 60 pounds of muscle since he stopped competing. That's a lot of fucking muscle to lose just because he's 260. You guys are not realizing he started training at like fucking 210. He wasn't even training. He was already 200 fucking pounds. So is it feasible that that fucking guy could actually gain that much muscle over that time? Yes, because even if he dieted down right now for contest lean, he'd probably only be about 230. Somewhere around there, maybe 225. Like, you guys are not getting it. Like, as soon as you stop taking those drugs, they fucking stop working. They'll work for a certain period of time while they're still in your system. Once they get out of your system, it's gone. It's like a light switch. You flip the light switch on, the fucking light is on. You shut it off, the light is off. Why? Because the stimulation is no longer there. Nothing you can do will change that. Dorian Yates was flat out honest when he said, he was taking steroids after he fucking was competing. He was maintaining his mass. And when he just said, fuck it, I'm going to do my 1 cc a week, his body changed so dramatically that now he was tearing his fucking super spinatus every week and getting injuries and shit because you can't do what you do when you're on steroids. When you're on gear, your body recovers so much faster and you're able to use weights that you will not be able to use when you're off. When you come off, that fucking signal goes down, your strength goes down. If you can't use the weight that built the muscle, you're not going to be able to keep the muscle. Your strength goes down because you're no longer on steroids. When you take steroids, your strength goes up before the size. You take your first shot, you don't see any size for a couple weeks, but the next week you go in the gym, everything feels lighter. You're able to add weight, lighter. That's how it works. That strength comes first to where everything feels light in the gym, and then the muscle mass starts piling on. It's due to the response from the fucking stimulus in the gym with the weights. It's not just due to the steroid being shot and you just grow muscle. So I fucking put this on my Instagram, and sure enough, this motherfucker comes on there, and I'm like, please guys, please just like read this. Don't interpret it. Read what I said. You cannot keep your fucking gains when you stop taking drugs. You can't. It's a fucking lie. You cannot do it. And the people that are out there don't want you to know that they're still taking shit. Why? Because it's illegal and they want you to believe they're quote unquote formerly taking shit, but they're still taking it. So when you like put it up on my Instagram, right? And then the first thing, well, a couple guys talk about, oh, Jerry, thank you for the information. Cool, that's great. There's one dude, oh, Jerry, well, if I stay on 250 milligrams of test for 2 years straight, and I go on trend for 12 weeks, and I come off the trend, will I still lose what I gained on the trend? I'm like, what the fuck do you not understand? Like, why the fuck? Like, if I tell you you drive your car into that wall, you're going to crash the car, right? These motherfuckers would say, well, what if I drive at 30 instead of 50 miles an hour? Will I still crash? Motherfucker, it doesn't matter how fast you're going. If you hit the wall, you're going to crash. When you stop taking the drugs, they stop working. That's it. That's all there is to it. And I can't stress it enough because if it took very little to maintain your mass, Ronnie, Jay, Dorian, Sean Ray, all these motherfuckers would have had to take 1 to 2 cycles of steroids and maintain that mass and not even have to take them to be competitive anymore. The reason that they had to keep taking shit and keep taking more because you have to keep taking them to keep seeing results. You cannot stop taking them. There's not one fucking pro out there right now who went from taking everything he was taking for pre-contest, taking fucking a 200 milligram shot of fucking test a week as TRT, kept training as hard as he could and eating all the fucking food and looks the same. It doesn't fucking happen. There isn't one out there. They all lose muscle. And a lot of them, they'll lose muscle, they'll gain fat, but they're still big because they're still taking more than a TRT dose. Half of them are still on just testosterone. I say just testosterone because they get off the growth hormone, they get off the insulin, they get off the tren, they get off the anadrol, but then they go with a fucking gram of testosterone a week. So it's like they were on 3,500 milligrams of fucking drugs. They're down to 1,000 milligrams, and they're still like 260, 270, 280, 250, whatever, those high 200 numbers. But it's because it's a gram of test still supplying enough androgen to make that body weight stay there. So their fucking muscle mass comes down, the fucking body fat goes up, the scale stays about the same. They go, oh, I'm still the same weight. Come off the fucking drugs. And I mean I mean, come off the fucking drugs. Stop being a lying motherfucker. Stop being shady. Stop being fucking scammy. Literally get off them. And what I mean is you go off your fucking drugs. If you want to do one of those PCT things, knock yourself out. But the bottom line is your body has to know that there's nothing there any longer coming in exogenously so that your body can then turn on that fucking hormone, send a signal to your brain to let your testicles know to work again. If you're still putting a fucking PCT injection in your body telling your brain to produce it, your testicles are not working on their own. They're working, but they're not working on their own. When you stop that, you know how many fucking people say, oh, I did PCT and then I went back on. What the fuck? If you want to do PCT, fine. If not, just come off fucking steroids and stay off them for 2 years. 2 years. You know what? Stay on a 200 milligram fucking dose. Go on 200 milligrams of testosterone, only 200 milligrams, nothing more. No growth hormone, no peptides, no SARMs, no nothing. 2 years. Train and eat the same way. Try to maintain your muscle mass. You come back in 2 years and sit down and tell me what the fuck happened to you. I don't give a fuck how good your genetics are. I don't give a fuck how clean your test is. I don't give a fuck what you took before. You will not maintain that muscle mass that you had before. And that is a fucking fact. There isn't one fucking person on this planet that has been able to maintain their muscle mass coming off all the fucking drugs. Not one. So in closing, guys, be aware. I'm so tired of people fucking don't interpret what I say. Don't try to figure out, well, Jerry, what's the solution? Is there another solution so it doesn't happen? When there's no signal, there's no response. Okay? That goes true of anything. There's no signal in your fucking TV, there's no response. There's no signal to your fucking brain, there's no response. If there's no signal to your muscles from those androgens, there's no response. Stop being fucking stupid. Stop being sheep. Stop being led by the fucking dick from these people that are telling you, oh, I do this and I take this fucking supplement and I maintain it. No, you don't, motherfucker. You're still on a gram of test. Okay, so at least if you fucking drop 50, 60 pounds of muscle and you said, I'm taking this and this is what I look like now, I'd be like, okay, that makes sense. You dropped 60 pounds of muscle. But if you're up there talking about how you fucking maintained your gains from steroids with your fucking supplement or someone else's fucking supplement or a super fucking diet or a secret training program, whatever the fuck it is, you're a fucking liar. That's all there is to it. So hopefully you guys understand that you're not going to go on a cycle and fucking be like one cycle. There's no such thing as one cycle unless you're fucking happy with coming back down to baseline and being your fucking normal self again. So once you get on that merry-go-round, it goes and it goes and it goes, and it's hard to get off of because you know what? The gains don't fucking stay. If the gains stayed, everybody out there would do one fucking cycle, look better, and never take it again. Or take whatever cycles they needed to get that size and never take it again. They would look the fucking same until the day they died. But it doesn't happen like that, does it? No. Why? Because without the signal, there's no response. Period. BioStrengthTraining@gmail.com. Leave comments down below, but don't fight. BioStrength.com is the blog. No response, no signal, no response bicep, and we are